You're listening to a CNA podcast.
Welcome back. This is the Work It podcast with Tiffany and Gerald. Now, today's topic is one that is very close to my heart because I'm a big believer of mentorships.
Really?
Yeah. Why are you so skeptical? Huh? I want to hear more where this tone is coming from later on. But I have had the privilege of having a few older people who are my life mentors. And in the workplace, there are others who play the same role. They give me advice, they open doors for me, and they have the permission, more importantly, to whip me into shape if I am not doing things properly. Okay, Gerald, now where is that that's a sniggering tone coming from? Do you have mentors? Do you believe in it?
I'm happy for you that you have mentors. For me personally, I don't have. I don't have any mentors. I can also say that maybe I don't really believe in it.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't really believe in the label of a mentor. Personally, for me, I just see maybe people more as like inspirational figures, role models. I have those. When I look at them, and I see what they do, and then I say, what can I learn from that? And I get silently inspired by them. And then sometimes if I need a more direct answer to my question, I may approach them to ask them for some help or some guidance or advice. So that's the way I receive the help that I get. I don't necessarily see it coming under a mentoring label for me.
Okay, so I guess it goes back down to what is the definition of a mentor, right? Which we can delve into specifically in this episode. Because I feel that the people that I have in my life, I do the same thing as you just mentioned. So am I getting this wrong? Maybe they're not really called mentors. Maybe they're called role models. I don't know. I think one of the things that we want to ask in this podcast is, what are the benefits of even having one in the workplace?
And also, of course, if the one that you're paired with is not working out for you, then how to break up,
How to break up with your mentor. Yeah, that's true.
So today in the studio, we're very happy. We've got a mentor and mentee pair. We have Teoh Mei Ting from Beca.
Hi.
And her mentor, Irene Yong from Beca as well.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
So ladies, I want you to be completely honest and don't give me the politically correct answer. What was your first impression of each other?
Mei Ting,
why don't you start first?
My boss is staring at me.
So Irene is your boss?
Was my boss. I was working under her team, and my first impression was she's very serious. Serious, and
That's
then,
not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, because it also gave me a sense of confidence. I need to show out my real power of what I've done in my school.
Yeah.
And then I need to take out this challenge.
Okay. What about you, Irene? Don't give me the politically correct answer. I like serious because serious can cut both ways.
I think Mei Ting, what strikes me about Mei Ting was that she was very outspoken and she's not scared of speaking her mind. I interviewed her when she came in to seek for internship. She was brave enough to ask us, what do you pay internship, and don't you think that is too low? And then and because of her comment, she actually also raised this to our people and culture team. And because of her, we actually did review the salary that we pay to our interns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and I did tell my people and culture manager, I said that I want this intern.
Oh, so you didn't actually take it the wrong way, because some people might go, why are you asking about pay even for an intern? Just come here and just get the opportunity to just work, right?
Yeah, so because she is not just thinking about herself, and she's actually thinking about the other interns who are going to come after her. So it's really very refreshing. We know that she's going to do great things. She's not going to be the kind of engineer who's going to just sit by and then go along with the flow. She wants to make a difference. She wants to make an impact. So that's my first impression of Mei Ting. Yeah.
Oh, that's a very good first impression.
I mean, it could have gone badly.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. But I'm so glad it worked out, right? So the relationship that you all first entered was more of like a supervisor, supervisee. You were working together, starting from internship first.
Yes.
Then how did it evolve into like this mentoring?
Yeah, was it a formalized process?
So when I first stepped into the workplace, I was interning in her team. She actually arranged many sessions, like training sessions for us to actually guide us through how to do design. And from the bottom, it's hard to have a senior at the top comes down to you and really teach you the fundamentals. I wasn't expected she will come down and then just teach us step by step. He also gave me a big picture on how this is going to work. And then after that, I will have the sense that, then the next step, what should I input? How can I apply what I learned in school into what the deliverable outcome it is? Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit to what we were saying in the introduction. Like, what is the definition of mentoring, right, in the workplace? In your company, is there like a very fixed definition? There needs to be a formalized process. Mentors need to clear certain criteria. They need to put in certain commitments and stuff like that?
Well, actually in Beca, mentoring our juniors has always been like a culture, a practice in the company. So all of us, we have gone through that stage. We had a mentor, and I myself, I had mentors who really helped me along in my career journey. And so because of this culture and this practice that we've always had, it becomes kind of like we don't need to be told that we need to mentor the juniors. It's just ingrained. You just brought up this way, and so you know that you need to do this to the next person who join us. So it's kind of like something that is very deliberate. So as a business manager, I ensure that even the interns or fresh graduates who join us, we assign a mentor to them so that there's someone that they can ask their questions to, who can guide them, because we have been there in their shoes when they come out. Oh, I've graduated. What next? What am I going to do? I've never done this before. So that's why we get someone who can, a more senior person who can give them guidance, and someone that they can fall back on when I really don't know how to do this. Who can I ask? And then they can go to their mentors to ask the questions.
Wow. So I'm picking up from Irene, right, that this is not really a program. The mentoring effort is really like a culture. You have benefited from mentors yourself before, and you're just like kind of paying it forward, learning to take care of people all the way, not just employees, but also the interns.
Yep.
What is the difference then between having a mentor and a buddy?
We also have a buddy system. So for each of my engineers, I assign them 2 people. One is a buddy, and one is a mentor. So the buddy is like tell you
where's the toilet,
where's the toilet,
Where's the best coffee?
where's the best place to eat, where's the best coffee, and so that you're going to bring him out to lunch so that he or she won't be so lonely on the first day of work, and then try to assimilate the new joiners with the rest of the company and tell them, okay, this is where things are stored and whatnot. But a mentor will be a little bit more deliberate, as in to guide the new joiner or the graduate or whoever it is more on technical things. And sometimes I will also assign a so-called soft skill mentor, because engineers, we are not very good at soft skills, so we need to practice a lot on that as well. So we assign a technical mentor, and sometimes we think that, okay, maybe this person needs a little bit more mentoring on soft skills like presentations, delivery. So okay, we'll assign a soft skill mentor to this person as well.
So is this mentor somebody who is also reviewing your performance at the end of the year?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were there to just guide me, to give me a big picture and the direction for me to know where to go. Instead of me spending hours of research, then go to the wrong direction.
Have you pestered a mentor to the point that they feel, Mei Ting, don't need to ask me a question every single day. Have 5 questions and then ask me at one shot. Have you ever been in that situation before?
No, not really.
So you can pester your mentor like every single day?
No. For me, I will try to do my background research first.
Yep.
So for the mentor, you cannot expect them have
They're
all
not
the
your
questions.
ChatGPT right?
Yes. Yeah, you have to learn how to ask the right question and do your background research first before you approach them.
Okay.
Yeah, don't treat them like a Google or ChatGPT.
So is Irene your only mentor in Beca, or do you have other mentors as well?
Oh, for me, I do have a couple of mentors in my company.
So they're all experts in different fields, so you can ask different ones, different questions.
Yeah, and I was quite fortunate that I joined Beca and they have a very comprehensive design guideline for me to refer to. That's the good part. But how do I know the rationale behind all this? Yeah, so that's the point where mentors will come in and guide you so that you can use all the guidelines to make the best use of it.
Yeah. What you are both sharing with us is how a workplace mentoring culture looks like, right? One where the people managers themselves have received mentoring, and then there's this desire and a culture to pay it forward to the younger ones, the more junior ones. And there's open access to everybody as long as someone comes to you to want to learn a little bit more how to do their work better, get more legacy knowledge, for example, to understand why things are the way they are, and then everyone can help. right? So this is like, it's quite, I get a sense it's very open, free flow, yet very intentional and very, very nurturing. I get a sense of that.
Yeah, so going back to the idea of nurturing, do you have to have a mentor-mentee relationship where the mentor needs to be older than the mentee?
Not necessarily, because it depends on. It doesn't really matter actually, because some of the engineers who joined me in the past, they're actually older than me.
Okay.
But because of
You
they may
have
come
more
from different,
experience.
they may come from different experience, different industries. So I will still have to be the one to mentor them in the technical skills that they require. So it does not necessarily mean that it needs to be someone who is older than you.
I totally agree with that. As long as it's an experienced person guiding a less experienced person, then you can call it as a mentorship but relationship.
How do you judge what a successful mentor relationship looks like?
I think when there is willingness from both parties and both parties really make the effort to want to be part of this mentor-mentee relationship, then I think it is something that is good. And especially when the mentor also get inspired by the mentee.
I want to ask, right, because just now what Mei Ting was sharing, there's a lot of guidance, a lot of sharing, right? To me, it sounds like if I'm the supervisor, it sounds like a lot of work. Like I have to share so much with the person, I have to guide so much. And then I have my normal work, I have got all these mentees coming up to me to ask me to guide them.
Oh yeah, and plus you're not a big believer of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering now. Okay, I'm
No,
just wondering.
I see your point actually. I can see your point.
How do you decide how much to give?
Yes.
How do you decide who you want to help?
Yeah.
Is it everybody? Or
Because
is it just
you
like...
could possibly be mentoring like 5 or 6 or
I'm
even
sure.
10 people if the department is big, right?
And that's the thing about mentoring, right? The staff will say, this one very good, that
It's
one
true,
very good.
it's true.
And then you find that, hey, suddenly,
Formal and plus informal, you got 15 already.
I'm doing 2 jobs for 1 pay, kind of a thing, right? I mean, no, Irene, what do you think?
Yeah.
Well, that's why as a business line manager, right, I need to know who is mentoring which mentee so that I don't overload this person. Yeah, so as a business line manager, I have a better visibility. So I won't put like 10 people to this mentor and then just two person to this other mentor. So it's quite well evenly distributed. Yeah, so someone has to oversee this, because although we say that it's not really 100% organic, that's why I say it needs to be deliberate. Someone needs to have a overview of it to make sure that it's really functioning well, and not just let it happen. It can't be just let it happen naturally.
So it's like a culture as well. It seems natural, but at the back there's actually some structures and boundaries and processes that actually are put in place to make this effective, right?
Yes.
So share with us like what are some of these things that help, because that's how you mentioned about like there are people who would assign and make sure that there's not one mentor that's overloaded with too many mentees, right? What are some of the examples?
So for example, just now I think Tiffany was asking about whether Mei Ting is this the mentor? Is this mentor the one who does her year-end review or performance review? So the mentors are usually not the ones who do the year-end review, but her supervisor can actually go to the mentor and ask, you have been mentoring Mei Ting over the past few years. What do you think of her? So the mentor will be able to gauge, right? Oh, so over the years, I think Mei Ting has shown improvement, or I think she still needs a little bit more guidance in this aspect. Maybe she needs someone. Say for example, if let's say Mei Ting is already a senior engineer, so maybe the mentor will say maybe she needs someone who guide her in people management. So then the supervisor will know that, okay, so maybe I need to find another mentor for her who will be able to guide her in this other aspect. Maybe not so much on technical aspect anymore because she's already almost there, but she needs to develop into another different aspect to grow her career, because she can't always be doing the technical things. She needs to grow to people management, to project management, and or having more business acumen. Yeah.
So that's one benefit, right, of having a mentor, which is this person can help to provide an extra data point in helping your line manager decide how to help you to grow in your career. I think another good benefit is also to provide you opportunities, whether within the company or even outside the company, maybe just putting your name up for an award or a program, a seminar to attend to give you extra help with your career, right?
Yeah, so for Tiffany, your point just now, in the fast-paced work environment and tight timelines in our business nature, it makes the structured mentorship very rare. And instead, those mentorship happens in a very small moment, like small but impactful moment rather than a 1 hour sit down session. Yeah, it can be like formal or informal. I learned the most during the lunchtime. To be honest, it's quite fun because I can get to learn from, maybe they talk about project sharing, some random sharing, or how they engage with a client and some other stakeholders. So from here, I learned a lot. So when we see the time and the people as an equal asset, as an equal value in the mentorship, both sides actually learn a lot and benefit each other.
So I want to talk next about the challenges of finding a good mentor.
What are the red flags of what not to see in a mentor, right?
Okay.
Like what is because I guess we come under the assumption everybody can be a mentor. But what is the one that you, red flags that, this one cannot be a mentor one, confirm. Do you have such criteria?
For me, speaking from a mentee perspective, I will take this analogy, like when you want to find a book in the library, you will have some keywords in mind. For example, you want to find a self-growth book, maybe some keywords in your mind is like leadership, business, or project management. So for me, I will have a 4C in my mind. The first C is confidence. This is what I look out from mentor.
Confidence, okay.
First C, confidence. Second C, clarity. Third C, credibility. And the fourth one, and the most important one, care. So these are keywords that I remind myself when I try to look out for someone to rely, not to rely on, but more seek out support.
Okay.
Well, when I assign mentors to the mentees, of course, I also have to think about whether will this work out or not, because some people, like what Gerald was saying, that they may be very technically good, but they may not be good mentors. So, so it has to be this
Balance.
person. It has to have some deliberation before it's just, okay, this person is very good at this, so I will just match. But it may not work out, and if it doesn't work out, it may be even a negative impact on the mentee. The mentee is like, wow, I'm so traumatized by this mentorship. I don't want to be ever mentor. So there needs to be a little bit of thinking behind when we assign the mentor. We want to make sure that the mentor feels comfortable and the mentee also feel comfortable as well. So before the assigning, I will have a chat with the mentor to ask them, are you willing to take on this mentee? And I will explain a little bit about the background of this mentee, and at least the mentor knows and they can say yes or no, because otherwise I just stuff this person to him, and like what you say, he may be already have a day job that is really very busy. He may not be able to take it on. So he may not be able to do a good job anyway.
How quickly do you pair them up? Like, if today I join your company, then how quickly can I get paired up with a mentor?
Within the first week, we need
so fast.
we need to let them know who their mentor is, because, well, actually having this mentorship guidance is actually something that we tell the people who come to interview with us, to let them know that we actually provide good mentorship and good guidance to you, because it's, you kind of say that we use it as we try to attract talents to
attraction factor.
Correct. So because a lot of fresh graduates, especially when they come out, they don't know what to expect, and they are so scared. They say, will I be working alone? Is there anyone working with me? So during the interview, I will tell them, don't worry, you always work in a team, and we'll assign mentor to guide you along the way.
Have there been mentors that you have assigned a mentee to? They've tried it, and then you just go, okay, you're just not cut out to be a mentor, and it's okay, but you're really not cut out to be a mentor. Have you ever met someone who's like that?
Luckily, I have not.
Okay.
Luckily, I have not had that
So
experience.
no breakups yet.
No breakups yet.
So far, no breakups yet. But if, let's say, because like I said, we always have to have a back end look at what is happening on the ground. So if I see that there seems to be a little bit of tension, so I will need to try to step up a bit and intervene, and then try to see whether I can mend the relationship, and then let them carry on. If not, then most of the time it's okay, after this intervention.
Irene, this is a lot of work. Just hearing how she does it, right? We can get a sense this is like your other job from your main job, right? It's not easy to broker all these relationships.
She's like a relationship counselor. If you think
exactly,
about it.
Exactly. And you need to know like the people who are the mentors and the mentees, and who can get along with who. You need to know them well, and you have to do it within the first week.
Actually, her hit rate higher than Tinder.
Quite good.
Because she has to match people, and then right now no breakups. It's like, wow.
No, but I think she's mitigating the risk along the way.
Yes,
like she's saying that, look,
she's not going to just say, I pair you guys out and then hands off.
Yeah, it's not a perfect pair, and it's like, I'm trying to make it work. If there are certain things that's not happening, she has to keep this very close eye on the progress. If things are not working out, she's got to pull people aside to tell them. So she's making it work. I think for a mentoring program in organizations, right, the thing that gets to me is some companies just put labels on mentoring and just say that, oh, I pair you with a mentor. And then they don't have any overview. Nobody's looking after the whole thing. And it's just a mentor in name. And you don't know what's happening to the person, and then after that it gets like whitewashed.
Yes.
So
in fact, the mentee could be really struggling under this mentor.
Exactly.
Or conversely, the
Suffering,
mentor is also suffering.
Yeah, so I think from Beca, what I'm seeing here, maybe we're rounding up here, right, is that for successful organizational mentoring models to work, first, you need to have the culture. You need to make sure that your people managers are taken care of first before you can take care of other people, right? Then after that, you need to set things up with certain boundaries, certain perspectives. You need to screen properly. You need to know your people and your people managers who are going to be mentors. You need to know your mentees who are coming in. If it's successful, you could use this as a very good retention or even attraction tool for the fresh graduates, because a lot of them need this kind of development support.
Yeah. Just to wrap up, Irene, there was a recent TikTok trend, having coffee with my younger self. If you were to look back, what would you say will be the best piece of advice that you can give Mei Ting, your mentee, that you would have given your younger self then?
Well, I think Mei Ting she is a much better version of my younger self. Yeah, I wish I was more like her, more outspoken in my younger self, more not so shy, more willing to seek out mentors and not be shy to ask questions, not be shy to ask for things that I think that will help me along my journey instead of being a little bit slower. I wish I was like her, very active in seeking out help. And yeah, so I wish I was more like that. I would have told myself that please be brave to speak out, don't be shy, and seek help when you want.
Right. We wish you the best, and we hope that this relationship even goes beyond the workplace. I'm sure I can see it right in front of us that there's this really nice friendship that's going on there.
Yeah.
Right?
So thank you so much, ladies, for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Welcome back to our Ask Me Anything segment, where we take a work-related question from you. Now, today's question is from our listener who I'll call Simon. Simon wrote to us, I'll read. I am a HR professional and my current workplace is really toxic. During candidates' interviews, I could not help feeling like a fraud, telling candidates that the workplace has a good culture when it's far from the truth. I intend to leave once the right opportunity comes. What could be a good reason to leave without burning bridges? Now, Gerald, I think it's clear that Simon is not able to continue with his lies anymore during these candidate interviews, right? And he's probably in a fix because it sounds like he wants to continue staying in this industry. Would you have any advice on how he can leave without burning bridges?
When I read this question, I thought to myself, like, actually, most people, when they leave their jobs, they will just give the very politically correct answer. They just tell the employers that, look, I'm leaving because there's a better offer somewhere, better in terms of salary, better in terms of progression, or even maybe the benefits, right? It's better. And that's usually okay. So I'm wondering, like, how come Simon would struggle with
giving the politically correct answer?
Yeah, correct. And I'm wondering whether is it because Simon feels like a fraud, telling lies.
Like even that would be a lie for him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to lie anymore.
Yeah, that's right. So I think beyond giving the answers itself, I think it's important to also address how Simon feels about himself when he doesn't tell the whole picture. I think there's a difference between telling a lie and not telling the full picture.
Okay. Yeah, telling the lie and omission of truth.
Yeah, correct. And Simon being from the industry, being a recruiter himself, I'm sure he has heard like thousands or hundreds of people who apply for jobs, and when he asks them, so what's your last reason for leaving? And then they are also just giving a most politically correct answer or most rehearsed answer. Yeah. He probably heard his fair share of good and bad. So maybe Simon could probably listen through some of those answers and kind of figure out, triangulate what would be the most comfortable, right? I think it's important to be comfortable what you're saying as well. And we all have different thresholds of how much we want to really reveal. But what about you? Today, if you, like your friends, when they are thinking of leaving the company, what are some of the reasons that you heard before?
I have actually heard of people who are very honest and who will just say that this doesn't work for me. I have tried and it doesn't work for me. Thank you for the opportunities. I don't think you need to go deep into the reasons. You can just say that like there are certain things that maybe doesn't quite sit well with me, but I would like to thank you for all the opportunities that you've given me. I would like to try something else. So in that sense, you can walk away feeling that you were being very authentic to yourself. So it's not pointing out the real reason why you are leaving, but at the same time is trying to say that there are push and pull factors. Maybe that's something that Simon could consider, depending on the relationship, obviously, that he has with his supervisor.
Yeah. I think if Simon was not comfortable at the start to say why he wants to really leave, in the HR process, in the exit process, there's usually the exit interview.
Yeah.
So we're doing the exit interview. That's where, if you feel that's helpful for the company to know why, and if you really want to say your piece, right? Maybe that's a good place to say. Although some people I know, they'll say, no lah, the exit interview is just a for show
formality.
Formality. You don't really have to say anything. Yeah. But for some people, they might want to use that opportunity to just really speak their mind. Because between your resignation to your last day, right, there is a period, and you still have to maybe work and clearly.
Your notice period, correct.
So that's why some people will choose to not say too much at the start when they resign.
Okay.
And then only on the last day, then they will really say how they really feel.
Yeah. What about your colleagues though? If your colleagues ask you, hey, what's the real reason why you are leaving? But then you have to bear in mind that your colleagues could one day be your boss in another company.
Yeah. And this is what Simon said, right, in his question. He said that his workplace is really toxic. So if I'm in a workplace that's really toxic, I would not want to tell people the truth.
I see.
Like,
Okay.
Because we don't know how they will be using these things. I would try to shy away, try to find present like very surface level reasons, because we really don't feel safe speaking our truth, what's really happening to the people around us. We don't know how they'll use it for their own advantage, maybe.
True, yeah. So Simon, I think firstly you have to ask yourself if you feel safe enough to disclose the real reason why you are leaving. And if you don't, honestly, I think our advice here would be just give the neutral diplomatic answer and say goodbye, start a fresh new chapter. Well, if like Simon, you have a work-related question, we would really, really love to hear from you. Send it to us. We are at cnaPodcasts@mediacorp.com.sg. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Me Listen, and YouTube. The team behind the Work It podcast is Crispina Robert, Joanne Chan, Junaini Johari, and Saye Win. Video by Hanida Amin.
I'm Gerald.
And I'm Tiffany. Have a good, safe work week ahead.